In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this super trendy in the hoop scallop heart tag that you can use for Valentine's Day baskets. You can decorate with them, make a beautiful banner for your fireplace or a wreath. This comes in so many different sizes and you can add names or phrases. So let's go ahead. I'm going to tell you everything we're going to use and then we'll make one together. So what we'll need to get started is our craft foam or felt. You could use either. My preference leans towards craft foam. This is the craft foam I get currently. It's from Hobby Lobby. I'll also link in the description some from Amazon. It's 2 millimeters thick. This felt is from Hobby Lobby as well. Again, 2 millimeters thick. Then we're going to use some cutaway stabilizer. You want to go super heavy on this one. Something that you wouldn't typically use on like a t-shirt. I actually just ran out of this because I used it on all my test stitches, but this is Pellon 884. I also got some from Amazon that I'm super excited about, but it hasn't come yet, so I'm just going to use whatever cutaway I have. You will 100% want some Heat and Bond Light. This is what it looks like. I buy it by the bolt. You can buy this at your local craft store or even on Amazon. This is so crucial to make sure your fabric doesn't fray. Since this is like a raw edge design, you'll want to make sure your fabric's not fraying. You'll want some really sharp fabric scissors. These are my favorites. And then absolutely 100% need some good applique scissors. These are my go-to. This is how you get such a clean cut on these raw edge designs. You're really going to need some great applique scissors. You will also need a seam ripper to work on those buttonholes, as well as, this is optional, but you'll need some kind of a basting spray, especially if you want to keep your fingers out of the way, to adhere your fabric to the foam and just make sure it's not sliding around. I definitely recommend a basting spray. Items you probably already have: an embroidery machine, some thread, bobbins. This is the fabric I'm using today. This is like a buffalo check, pink, and then a pink pin dot. This is from JoAnns. This is from Hobby Lobby. Use your favorite fabrics, mix and match for your aesthetic. And then a heat press or iron to adhere that Heat and Bond Light to your fabric. I've already done these so you can see it's kind of shiny. And then your embroidery font if you are adding a name or phrase. Let's go ahead and get started. You can use any type of embroidery hoop you would like for this project. Traditional hoop, fast frame. I'm just going to use Mighty Hoop because that's what I'm used to using. So I'm just going to take my heavyweight cutaway. Just pretend it's heavyweight cutaway. And you can hoop. If you have a big enough piece of felt or craft foam, you can go ahead and hoop it. So we're just going to place this here. And there we go. Okay, so today we're going to be using my brother's 6-needle machine. I used my Velcro on my big jumbo 8-inch designs, but this one I'm going to show you on here. I unzipped my file and loaded my design onto a USB drive, and I'm going to be using the 6-inch heart today. Now what I'm going to do is add my applique stops. A lot of you may not know you can add stops right into your machine. That way you don't have to keep babysitting it and make sure it stops so you can trim your fabric and add your layers. Let me pull you in a little bit and I'll show you how to add the stops. So you're gonna go to this little button right here. That's a little stop. And then you go in and you just add all your stops. Now I'm gonna add my name to it. Oh my gosh, look how cute. I'm just going to set and move it up a little. That seems about good. So there it is. See, I have all of my stops, but I want to make all of this number 4. So I'm just going to hit that little wand, go to 4, and voila. Now it is all going to stitch in that red color, and I won't have to keep worrying about it switching colors. Close. That looks great. Let's get to stitching. Okay, so now we have placed our stops, we have our foam and our stabilizer hoops ready to go. Let's go ahead and do that placement stitch. And it's in red today, so hopefully you can see it a little better today. Okay, so it just stopped to allow me to place the fabric. So let's go ahead and put our biggest heart fabric down. So this is a very important part of the process. Using heat and bond light is crucial if you don't want the fabric to look frayed or jagged. So again, this is heat and bond light. I will link it in the description box below. So you can use a household iron. I'm just going to use my heat press, and we are going to apply this to our fabric. Okay, so we have our fabric. We're going to place it pattern side down. Then we cut our piece of heat and bond light. You see there's a textured side and like a smooth paper side. You'll put the textured glue side down. And the key is you want it smaller than your fabric, because if you don't, you will end up with sticky stuff all over your heat press or iron. So make sure to not overlap. Then we're just going to press it. I just do 10 to 15 seconds, and then I will show you how to know when it's done. And so you'll get a nice clean break of this nice plastic film. That's what you want. You don't want it to be almost like stipply or like it hasn't adhered. Okay, so now it's nice and stable. It's gonna not fray when we cut. So I have my fabric that has been prepped with heat and bond light, and I'm just gonna make sure since I have stripes, I don't want it to be wonky and sideways. So I'm just gonna take a little extra caution and make sure it's exactly where I want it. And here is where I would probably use some adhesive spray, so let me go grab it. You don't want to spray this directly near your machine or near anything valuable, because it is really sticky. So I want to make sure you fully cover the stitches and have some overlap. Let me just spray this over here. You can see I have a little sticky on there. Okay. And I'm gonna line up that stripe with the middle. Okay, and that little basting spray just helps keep it down. For certain machines, you might not be able to use a stick. Here's just a disclaimer, as with every applique video, do not put your finger in the way. Use a chopstick. Basting spray is wonderful, and we can just guide along with this and not your finger. Okay, so now we have our fabric placed where we want it. Let's go ahead and go to the tack down stitch. Now it's going to do the final triple bean stitch. It's going to be a great finishing stitch to really polish it off, and then we'll move to the inner heart. Okay, so it just finished a triple run stitch for that outer scallop heart. So let's go ahead and move on to the placement stitch for the inside heart. Now that that's finished, we are going to place our fabric for the inner heart. And again, just like before, if you want to use basting spray, make sure your design is not wonky, and let's go ahead and place that fabric. Okay, that basting spray works like a charm. Let's go ahead to that tack down stitch. Now that it's done the tack down stitch of the inner heart, here again you think, Okay, I probably need to go ahead and cut. Nope, we're gonna let it do the final triple run stitch for that inner heart, and then we're gonna take it and trim the inner heart fabric. So let's go ahead and let it do that triple run real quick. So now that it has done that finishing stitch for the inner heart, we're going to take our hoop off the machine to trim about 2 to 3 centimeters away from that final finishing stitch on the inner heart. We want to make sure we cut off the excess fabric because buttonholes are next in the stitch order. So let's go ahead and trim carefully around our inner heart, and then we'll put it back on the machine to do the buttonholes and add the name. So you can see, just like in this one, we're gonna go 2 to 3 centimeters. I like to hold up my fabric. You can always cut more off, but start a little probably closer to the 3 centimeter mark. And the heat and bond light makes it so much easier to cut. It just kind of glides through. You'll want to be careful over in this section, over where you're on a curve. Just again, you will get the hang of it. You can always cut more off. Okay, see how that got a little jagged? So I'm just gonna go through and clean that up. Go in a little here. Okay, now that it's nice and trimmed, we can always touch it up later. Let's go ahead and get it back on the machine. And now you're ready for the buttonholes. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it just finished. I love this font. It is so cute and vintage. Look at this. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna carefully remove from the hoop and we're gonna trim around the scallop edge. We'll take the seam ripper to these buttonholes, add our ribbon, and we're done. So let's go ahead and trim around the scallop edge. So I'm going about 2 to 3 centimeters away from this finished stitch. You can always go thicker and then you can trim, but I want to make sure I leave room to turn my scissors in to get that scallop edge. Now we're gonna take this seam ripper and wash your hands. You're gonna hold it up and you're gonna gently poke at the bottom and push up, not too hard. You don't wanna break that stitch, right to the top. We're gonna follow through on the other side. Again, watch your hands. Seam ripper through the bottom, just to the top. So I've got my ribbon. I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I'm gonna do 2 ribbons, I think. But I didn't quite know how big to make it, so I'm just gonna take it and gently push this through. So here is the final product. There are so many different ways you could add ribbon. You could add 2 like I did here, and we're gonna tie it on. You could do banner style and just put 1 through the back, or you could have it 2 like this one. Or if you make multiple, you could have it strung on a fireplace, put it on a wreath. There's so many different possibilities with this In the Hoop scallop tag. You can make it a banner, you can make it a tag. So let's go ahead. I think I'm gonna try it on this basket. Let's see how it looks. I think that looks so cute. Let me know which style you prefer. So here we have the 7-inch and here is the 6-inch. I think this turned out so cute. I love the contrasting colors. It is such a fun project, super quick and easy for you to do. For Valentine's Day, you could use it to make a bag tag, or you could string it together and make a cute banner for your fireplace or a wreath. Again, I will link everything I used today in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here. And to let you in on a little secret, this is one of my new designs that you can find in my Etsy shop. I'm so excited. This has been a dream of mine to finally digitize. So my husband and I have learned some digitizing software. We've been working together and I am so excited to offer you more designs. There have been things that I wanted to do, but I haven't been able to find them. So I'm so excited to bring those ideas to life and to show you exactly how to do it, step-by-step tutorials. So I can't wait to share more with you. So again, this will be linked in the description box below. I so appreciate you being here, and until next time, bye for now.